Well, hello there, Aries. It's so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing a September surprise reading because we have two eclipses. We have the lunar eclipse, full moon in Pisces on September 7th, and then we have a second new moon in Virgo solar eclipse on September 21st. So this energy will bring in surprises, allow you to see the light, allow you to see things differently so that you get more clarity about how to move forward. So let's jump into it. Let's see what these eclipse energies will bring for you. Brown bear spirit, take time out. Aries, this is the energy where I feel like you have been working too hard, and I'm actually they're clarifying, mentally working too hard. It is the number 9, and 2025 is a 9 year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9, right? And next year is a 1 year, 2026. So there's the energy here, 9 years, and we're almost to the end of the year. It's about really clearing out the clutter, right? Whether that's a physical clutter in your environment, whether that's your home, your office, or wherever you spend your time, right? And it's also about clearing out the mental clutter, okay? Beliefs, mindsets, things and people and thoughts that no longer resonate with you, okay? If you're kind of struggling, if you're kind of like, there's this energy of just the anxiety that is coming up, okay? Just fearful of trying it differently, right? Maybe you've been doing kind of the same thing for the last 9 years. It's a little bit of that energy. Well, I've been doing it this way so long. Why throw it all up in the air and start over? But that's exactly what these eclipses help us to do. They help us to see what really isn't working in our life, even though you could be almost like holding on to it, right? Like a badge of honor, or just, I can't do it any other way. I have to move. I have to keep this same mindset because I've had it for so long. If I let go of it now, right, it's kind of like, well, does that mean all of that was a waste of time? No, you're allowing yourself to say, I'm worn out. This is the energy. I'm worn out. I'm worn out trying to play. It's a little bit about understanding your life is a little bit of a game, right? But it's kind of like understanding you have been trying to play the game of life by a set of rules that you have outgrown. You're just not in alignment with them. So, but you're still trying to play life by this set of rules that is almost like causing you to just have to work so hard. It's kind of like a let go of it, because Spirit is saying there's this other way to play life. There's this other game of life, and the rules are so much more in your favor. It's like you're trying to, what is it, like in golf and maybe in bowling, there's some sports where you get a handicap, right? It's kind of like, you're so good, you have to have a handicap to make the level of play even. And that's what Spirit's saying is like, you're so, in a way, handicapped because in the way that you're playing life, because you're playing by a set of rules that is working against you, okay? Instead of allowing your mind to shift to this, seeing the world in a different way, allowing yourself to go with the flow of life instead of feeling like like you're a salmon, because brown bears eat salmon. I think they do. Grizzly bears do, I know. So it's kind of like your salmon floating, trying to go upstream, right? You're fighting the current. It's allowing yourself to say, well, wait a minute. Yeah, maybe if I just go downstream, maybe life will be easier. Wow, joy. We're looking at the blessings, the insight, okay, that you are receiving in the month of September. Here's joy. Asking yourself, right? With this energy, it's kind of like, are you enjoying life? Is there joy in your life? And if the answer is no, right, or not that much, that's what this energy is about. It's because you're playing life by a set of rules that isn't going to ever bring you joy. So you get to choose again. With these eclipses, Spirit is saying, yeah, you have the ending. You have an ending. An ending to the way that you're playing life, an ending to the way that you think you must play life, right? It's ending that so that you have freedom and more joy in your life. Allowing yourself to say, okay, just asking yourself, is it working the way that you are living the mindset, the thoughts, the beliefs that you are living life with at this time? If it's working for you, then this is not your reading, right? If you're kind of like, well, okay, maybe I have some stuff that's going well. Maybe I'm having success in my career or something, but I don't have any time for joy, or I don't have any relationships or hobbies that bring me joy. Then it's time to allow yourself to just kind of like move in a different direction. You have apology here. I actually feel like this is almost the energy of recognizing that there could be somebody from your childhood, okay, that convinced you in a way that these are the rules to success. These are the rules to happiness and joy and abundance in your life. And you could be living this life thinking that if you decide to go against, this could be a person that you really think a lot of, you love, right? But it's kind of like understanding that may have worked for them, but this does not work for you because you're vibrating at a different frequency than they do. And you may feel like, well, if I go and start living life in a different way, right? That you may feel like you're going against something, okay? And you may feel like, well, then I have to apologize, or you have to apologize. You could be feeling a little bit like, well, if I start living life by a different set of rules now, right? Then what does that mean to the previous version of myself? Do I have to apologize? There's something here about feeling maybe a little bit of guilt or shame by recognizing that you're just gaining all this deeper knowledge during this eclipse season. But look, it's about allowing yourself peace in all of this. It's not that one person is right and another person is wrong. It's not that one way of thinking is good and another way of thinking is bad. It's just different. And allowing yourself, okay, that there isn't, yeah, this is all faded for you. It's bringing in a soulmate too. Yeah, it's allowing yourself to recognize. You could feel like, with this apology card, there's kind of a heavy energy here of thinking that, that means that one way of thinking is right and another is wrong, or something like that. You're just getting this clarity. It's almost like a breath. Like you could take a breath, a real breath, a sigh of relief, right? Yeah, that it is. It's the energy of a sigh of relief. I don't have to keep being the salmon swimming upstream. There is an easier way of life. If you feel like other people have it easier than you and you're trying to figure it out, maybe even trying to live your life the way that they're living their life, right? Maybe you have a loved one or something, somebody that this is just so beautiful. You are breaking free, Aries. You are breaking free. It's almost, I want to say, it's almost like a switch could happen. I feel like you're fighting this. You're like the salmon swimming upstream, right? Trying to get away from the bear. You're a salmon trying to swim upstream. And it's almost like you could have some people in your life that are like, why are you working so hard? What? You're worn out, right? You need a vacation. This is the energy. You need a vacation. You need a break. You're just overwhelmed. And you're like, I know, but I just have to work. I just have to keep going. And then all of a sudden it is kind of like something happens, perhaps, right? Where you recognize, like, you're jumping up in the air as a salmon, right? You're jumping up in the air and the wind blows and you flip around and you're actually jumping downstream. You're like, wow, why has life all of a sudden gotten so much easier? It's not that I feel like maybe you feel like then you're giving up on your dreams. You're not giving up on your dreams at all. For some of you, I feel like you're going to understand you're like the salmon that's chasing after a dream that's not even your dream, right? It's kind of like, oh my goodness, why am I doing this, right? Yeah, and I feel like it may have to do with a lot of work, okay? You put a lot of time and effort, energy into trying to create a life that you really and truly desire. There is this deep knowing, right? You have this deep knowing. I know it's going to work out for me. I just know it. It's like you're the salmon going upstream and you're like, I just know if I just keep going, I just know there's something in your soul. You know that you are meant to have exactly what you are desiring, right? Because that's where you're going. But you think you have to play it by the certain rules. It's almost like maybe it's a little bit like you think if you don't keep playing by these rules, then you're cheating. Or you're taking shortcuts. You could have some, kind of like mindsets around you have to work hard. Life has to be hard. Your work has to be hard, right? It's almost like you're fighting this mindset that life can't be easy. Well, it can. That's the energy here. It can. You're literally making life harder for yourself because there is this, look, you have the deep knowing twice. You have deep knowing twice. Deep knowing and the honoring path. This is your obstacle. It's almost like you're blocking it, right? You have the Two of Swords. You're blocking it. Nope, can't go that way. Doesn't fit with the set of rules or the way I'm supposed to live life, right? It doesn't fit in, maybe you have always been taught that you need to have a corporate job so that you have the benefits package, you have a sense of security with your job, right? And maybe there's something underneath with this deep knowing coming out twice that maybe you're meant to really be kind of like have a spiritual business or a creative business or be an entrepreneur, right? And it's like, nope, that goes against these rules I've been given. So nope, not going to listen to that. But your soul, this is almost a little bit of the energy of being aware of a tower, okay? Because you're literally trying to go against what your soul, you're defending it. You're defending it. You are fighting. Here's the thing. You are fighting between the 3D and the 5D. You have the Hierophant and the High Priestess, okay? And then you have the Seven of Wands. You're more spiritual, okay? High Priestess, you're more spiritual, honoring path, deep knowing, and I'm going to say you also have the Hermit, the teacher, the wise teacher, right? So you have lots of spiritual energy here, but that does not line up with the traditional way that you think the world is meant to go. So you're You're playing by a set of 3D rules, but you're actually 5D. So that's why life is so hard, because your soul knows, and I'm going to actually pull some life purpose cards. I wasn't going to do this, but I feel like there's a strong energy here where it's time to allow yourself to step truly into your life purpose, not having a job so that you can pay the bills and buy the things that you want, the 3D kind of mindset, right? This is the energy of understanding what skills, talents, spiritual gifts, perhaps, do I have? The honoring path. What do I have to offer to the world, instead of kind of like thinking what job is out there that will give me the financial abundance, the status, whatever it is that you're looking for in the 3D, right? It doesn't mean that when you live in the 5D way of life that you can't also have the abundance, the material abundance that you are seeking, but it comes with so much more joy, the 5D way, right? Because it's this energy of really going to work, not to earn a paycheck, but allowing yourself to serve, to give to others. You switch your whole mindset, right? So it's just I know it's hard. I've been in the corporate world, then I was a teacher, right? Now I'm doing this. It's kind of like understanding, author. Perhaps there's a book you are truly meant to write. You also have the strength card, which says everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. Because I feel like what you're doing is stepping into a wise teacher. You have the King of Wands here, right? This is the energy of being a wise teacher and leader for other people, helping them on their path to see the way. Yeah, I feel like there's something here. You have the support here. It says your life purpose fully supports you. Light and love, right? Your purpose is to bring divine healing light and love to this world. Asking yourself, is the way that you're living your life right now helping you to share, what does it say? Your divine healing light and love to the world. You can still have a corporate job, okay? But is it an environment where you can share your loving light with the world? If not, you're the salmon going upstream, thinking you're going to, I want you to know, I've been there, right? It's kind of like you think you can change those people's minds. You think you can get them to see something different, right? But it's, you can now, what this message is be the inspiration. Allow yourself to change your mindset instead of trying to get other people to change their mindsets. Turn around and swim with the salmon that are swimming downstream, right? Allow yourself to be with like-minded people. Otherwise, you're just banging your head against the wall over and over and over again. And I know it's difficult. I've been there, because that means that there's sometimes a lifestyle, there's sometimes people, even family members, that you have to allow yourself to move away from, right? Because they don't understand your way of life. But have you been spending your whole entire life trying to fit into their rules, turning yourself into a pretzel, right? Trying to conform your 5D spiritual self in the 3D world. If you're not finding joy with that, this is the energy. Look, the angels of the four directions, co-create with spirit, hermit. This is the energy of allowing yourself to take a time out, take a breather, allow yourself to reconnect with spirit. You know, this can be with meditation, spending time in nature, right? Journaling. Asking yourself if money or status or pleasing other people was not a thing. Not saying it isn't, but if it wasn't, if you could allow yourself to let go of those constraints What would you really and truly want to do in this world? And that is what you are able to do. Your spirit is coming in to help you to live the life that is easier, is more full of purpose and joy, relationships, right? You have a leg up. This is the Ace of Pentacles, the community card, finding like-minded people. I feel like if you're resonating with this, you're just like probably surrounded by people that just don't get you. You feel like maybe you're always having to have your guard up. Okay, Seven of Wands. I love this because you also have the travel card. For some of you, you could be deciding, I need a sabbatical, right? Even if you want to keep the job or whatever that you have now, I need a sabbatical. I need to get away. I need to get reconnected to who I am and what I desire, right? Allow the rules to be dropped for a little bit. For others of you, I feel like you might actually be moving, deciding that the area that you live in, right, is not conducive to this other way that you want to try life, right? I know as I get older, I just move farther and farther away from big cities. I've lived in some really big cities, and at the time I enjoyed it, right? But as I get more deep into my own spiritual life, you just become more sensitive to the noise and all of the energies of different people and that type of thing. I love spending time in nature. It's kind of like allowing yourself, giving yourself that gift of letting go. It's like you're cloaked in the mindsets of the rest of the world or of a certain person that has been significant in your life, and you're understanding, I have to try it a different way, right? It's a little bit of the energy, Einstein's thing, where, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you've been trying to do it over and over again, even like trying to switch it up a little bit, right? It's kind of like, this is the mindset of, it's time to try something totally different, right? Allow yourself to do that. And you can do it in baby steps, Aries. Don't feel like you have to, be the fool and jump off the cliff. Some of you might want to, right? Others of you, you may just want to start dabbling in creative projects that you really enjoy, right? Learning new hobbies or starting a side business or traveling more or whatever it is, to allow yourself to start exploring what your heart truly desires. All right, Aries, let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Yes, what am I looking for outside myself that is already within me? I feel like that's it. You have this deep knowing, right? You have the deep knowing twice. You know what your path really is. I'm not saying you're completely on the wrong path, but there is an energy here of understanding your approaching. If you don't want to change, like your career, okay? It's about allowing yourself to change your energy of how you are showing up in your daily life, to understanding that you are here, right? To be the light and love for others, to share your divine healing energy with others. And for some of you, it may mean having to change your entire lifestyle. It may mean changing, right? I mean, you could be moving, you could be, allowing yourself to leave relationships or jobs, careers, whatever. It's kind of like, yeah, it's time for me to get closer to what I know is already true, right? You're seeking validation or acceptance from the external world. This is you saying, no, I know who I am. I know what it is that I desire, and I'm going in that direction. And I feel like when you allow yourself to really go within, you're saying, I can't I can't try to really go for that life and also live in the 3D rules, right? And I'll have to say, I tried that for a while, like really living in, trying to live my 5D, okay, in the 3D world. And yes, we live in the 3D world, so we do have to still deal with it, but we can change our mindset about it, right? Instead of trying to change it, we can inspire change in other people by living our life of joy. It's not about changing them. It's about allowing yourself to live your life of joy and inspiring other people to say, hey, Aries, what are you doing? I want to do that too, right? How did you get so joyful? How did you find a life of purpose, right? Find a life of happiness and joy and abundance. How did you do that? And I feel like that's what this King of Wands is. You're putting time and energy into who you really and truly are, helping people to find a more joyful, purposeful, abundant life in a much easier way than by playing the 3D rules. Wow, powerful, Aries. You really and truly, if you're resonating with this at all, I feel like you are truly a spiritual, you definitely are. You have the High Priestess, the Hierophant, and the Hermit, and the King of Wands, which is the spiritual teacher card for me as a reader. You are meant to allow the experiences that you have had and allowing yourself to really and truly step into your spirituality to inspire others, right? To motivate others, to help them to see a different way of life. Wow. All right, I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here. I really and truly appreciate all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.